Good morning. Continuing Hebrews 11, verse 27, as we think about faith expressing itself as resolve again, yet another sort of key piece to living a life of resolve. We've discussed that you got to reject the fear of man, draw lines you won't cross. You have to be willing to embrace disgrace. And we come to a fourth piece here in verse 27. By faith he, talking about Moses, by faith Moses left Egypt, not being afraid of the anger of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Think about that. The fear goes away, but how? We talked about the fear of man before, but how is it that the fear goes away? Because he has the eyes of faith to live before him who is invisible. Think about Moses rising up from within Pharaoh's home, going out, encountering God in the desert. He ends up back leading God's people, and he leads them out in a way and it brings havoc down on Pharaoh's house. And he leads people out into a place they didn't know where they were going, out into the wilderness. Yes, to a promised land, but how are they going to get there? Cross the sea, cross the Red Sea. I mean, the amount of faith necessary for that kind of leadership. So here's the fourth piece. You're going to live a life that is resolved. You have to be daring. You have to be willing to risk. And you might say, well, there's no such thing as risk because God is sovereign. Well, it's risky for you and it's risky for me because I don't know and you don't know what lies in front in God's sovereign story. Yes, we're trusting him as a person, but we don't get the lens to look and map out the future. We don't get the bird's eye view to see how it all works out. We don't get to play the tape and fast forward. And that is why faith is so important. Let me give you a quote. Helen Keller, right? Helen Keller. Security is mostly a superstition. Think about all the disability Helen Keller had. She probably knew what it was to live without security. Security is mostly a superstition. It does not exist in nature, nor do the children of men as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. It's either a daring adventure or nothing. I want to encourage you to live a life of faith expressing itself in resolve will mandate risk. Be daring. If it's not an adventure, it's nothing. So maybe you need to think about in your life as you live for the Lord over against the world, what it looks like for you to be daring for his honor and for his glory. May the Lord bless you today.